Russian journalists are calling on the Kremlin to release an American journalist. More than 200 journalists signed an open letter to Moscow demanding the release of Evan Gershkovich. The Wall Street Journal reporter was detained in Russia last week, accused of spying for the U.S. government. He is the first U.S. correspondent since the Cold War to be detained for alleged spying. NewsNation's Kelly Beeson is live here. Kelly, the journalists call his arrest preposterous and unjust.
Yeah, they are, Nichole, and they're demanding in the open letter that he be set free. However, the Russian Foreign Ministry alleged today that the, quote, hype in the U.S. is a hopeless and senseless attempt to pressure Russian authorities and the Moscow court hearing the case.
He's the guy that you introduce to your friend, and 5 minutes later you turn around and they're laughing and talking, really deeply about something, and you can't believe why or how.
Thatcher Foster is a childhood friend of Evan Gershkovich, the 31-year-old American journalist jailed on espionage charges. Thatcher says Evan's friends and family have received an outpouring of support and are working to keep Evan in the headlines as they hope for his release.
You just don't always have the concept of how many people he touches and how much he means to so many different people. And I think that, to me, is what fills us all with pride.
Gershkovich was arrested east of Moscow last week and is now being held behind bars here, a site used for torture and executions during Stalin's Great Purge. It was once the KGB's main detention facility, the same place former U.S. Marine Paul Whelan was held for 2 years.
They make the psychological content of keeping you alone and isolated in a metal box that's maybe 7 by 12 feet. Really intense. You get fed through a slot. It's really impersonal. You can't knock on the walls to talk to somebody in code because the walls are too thick. You might as well be on the dark side of the moon.
Russian authorities say they caught Gershkovich red-handed, using his journalistic status as a cover for illegal actions, accusing him of working to obtain classified information about a Russian arms factory. But Gershkovich's employer, the Wall Street Journal, has denied the accusations.
In my own mind, there's no doubt that he's being wrongfully detained.
The outcry has been swift, with hashtags supporting Gershkovich's cause and hundreds of journalists signing an open petition demanding he be freed.
He was arrested, A, to send a message to the Americans to stop reporting on us. B, because he is one of them. They always arrest somebody who is really competent.
Now, a Moscow court will hear an appeal on April 18th that could decide whether Gershkovich is held or granted bail. It's being reported that he is in good health and grateful for the outpouring of support from around the world, Nichole.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.